Hey, what's up? This your boy Big Man. You already know what it is, man. So let's get right to it. Okay, so today we're going to talk about Young Dolph and the horrible tragedy that took place yesterday when the rapper Young Dolph lost his life at the age of 36 years old in his hometown of Memphis, in his own part of town, man, his own hood, man. Horrible situation. Rest in peace to Young Dolph. But as we anticipated, man, the story is starting to develop. A lot of the details in the case are starting to come out, and before long, I'm pretty sure these guys are going to get caught. Now, the latest development that we can talk about are the photos that have come out recently. Now, within the last hour, the Memphis PD just released another set of photos that show different angles that are obviously from a security camera close to the business where Young Dolph was shot in front of, right? And in these photos, you can see way more details, and you can actually see the suspects running back from the shooting situation, and you get a clear shot of the car. And recently, there's been a lot of traffic online that showed details about the car, you know, what model it is and everything. And if you get a clear look, man, we'll go over that and we'll talk about the car as well. Now, there's also some information floating around about a $500,000 reward. Now, I haven't seen anything official about that, but we'll discuss that as well. But before we get to the specifics, do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and man, let's get it. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, man, let's talk about this situation with Young Dolph and these pictures that have surfaced of the suspects in this case, man. Now, first off, man, I want to say, man, props to Young Dolph, man. He's true Memphis legend right there, man. Dude put in his work. He really expanded hip-hop across America and brought us that Memphis sound. I'm going to just call him a Memphis legend off the rip. I don't care if y'all say that this is too early to be saying that, or I'm just saying that because he passed. Dude earned those stripes for real, man. Now, in regards to these pictures, man, let's take a look at what we've been, what we got lately. Now, first off, we got the first set of pictures where it was kind of blurry, and you saw the shooters, but it really didn't look like anything. You didn't see much in those photos. But in this next set of photos that was released about an hour ago, I want to say, man, you can see a lot of different details in the photos. In the very first one that I want to talk about is this one right here, where you see the suspects, and one is facing towards the business, I'm assuming, and you can see the camouflage car right there. It's a Corvette, I believe, or a Ferrari, and we never got clarification on that, but man, that we can assume is Dolph's car. And you can see in the very back of the photo, man, you can see another car. And that car is the car that's, man, there's basically an APB out for it, man. That is the car that they're looking for because they feel that they can link that to the shooters. And it's a white Mercedes. You can clearly see the Mercedes emblem on the very front of the car. Now, in the back, you see one of the shooters, and he has a gun in his hand, and he's got the pistol in his hand. So at this point, you don't see Dolph in the car. So it makes you wonder what happened. Now, I was listening to another podcast earlier, and Dolph's older brother, a guy by the name of Big C, was describing exactly what went down. And based on what he said, it looks like what went down here. He actually said that Dolph fired back, like he actually shot back at the dudes. Now, him going into the car, I don't know when that took place, because even Big C, I don't think he talked about that. But he said that it was from within the business that a lot of the exchange began. Now, I don't know where it escalated from here, because we can only tell from what's in the picture. But there's another picture that I want to talk about that was recently released as well. Now, in this picture, you see something totally different, man. You actually see the guys retreating. So it looks like they're running from the scene and they're going back to their car. Or they're either going over to the car to shoot some more. I can't tell because of the glare on the window, but it doesn't look like Young Dolph is in the vehicle. So it makes it complicated on where the story aligns. What you can tell is that the vehicle is definitely there, and one guy, his pants are basically falling down, like his joggers and his jogging pants. And you can kind of make out some differences in like body shape and stuff like that. And based on all this, I'm starting to think that yes, they're gonna come down with a suspect soon, man, because they're starting to get a lot of evidence quickly, and they're starting to release it to the public. So this means they probably have more than this tucked away. This is what they want us to see, just in case that, that somebody can ID them, like, as a witness, and just come in anonymously and say, oh, I know who that is, most definitely, and this is how I know it is. You know what I mean? Now, this plays into this whole thing about a reward. Now, there's rumors out there that there's a $500,000 reward. Now, I haven't seen anything official saying there's a $500,000 reward for any information leading to the arrest of the suspects who are responsible for the shooting death of Young Dolph. But man, that is a substantial amount. And if in any way, if a fifth of that, if it's $100,000 is true, man, somebody's gonna cash in on that money. Please believe that. Now, with all the things that are going on, there's a lot of rumors going around, man. There's different videos, different people giving their takes on what happened. But I think, man, what Young Dolph's brother said, and he sounded like he was tuned in for real. Like, he gave a descriptive example of what he thought happened, you know what I mean? Or what he says he knows happened. Like, with Young Dolph shooting back, and that, Young Dolph was the type of guy who would always be out and walking about or doing things on his own in that part of town, because essentially that's his part of town. That's like his grandma's house is like not even a mile away from there. Like, that is his part of town. That's his hood. So he thought he was free to move around like that, even though we know now that that was a horrible mistake, man, and a bad move for Young Dolph to make. And hopefully rappers in the future can learn from that example. And I hate to say that you would make an example out of Dolph's tragedy, but, hopefully somebody else can learn from this, and then it'll lead for less rappers and celebrities to lose their life in the future, man. Horrible situation, man. But let's look at the last piece of evidence that the Memphis police have released, man. They've actually shown a picture of the car. Now, if you look at the car, obviously it's the same car that we saw in the video. I mean, the still pics from the video outside of the bakery. And it's kind of a back image of the car, and it looks like it's a white Mercedes coupe. Now, a lot of people have said it was a two-door vehicle. It was a white two-door vehicle. So some of the people who have mentioned that have actually gotten that right, obviously. But it looks like, I don't know what year model, but it's like, it's a regular Mercedes. It's a two-door white. It's easy to point out. Like, this car would actually be easy to find, if you've seen it on the road. And that's another thing that I think is going to come back to haunt the shooters, you know what I mean? Or the suspected shooters, alleged shooters in this situation. Because that car, like, you can pick that one out. Like, if you're driving down the road, white Mercedes two-door coupe, like, that's going to stand out. That's one thing that does stand out, definitely. But what do you guys think about all this new evidence that's coming out? Does this lead you to believe that before the end of the week, or man, maybe even by next week, we'll have some suspects? Or there's rumors, let me stop right there. There's rumors that the police already have one person in mind. Like, one person they think they already have in mind. So do you think that they're that much closer, or do you feel like they might be putting this out there because they don't have anything else but this evidence, so they need the public's help to try to find who's, responsible for this crime? Now, with that, this has been your boy Big Man. Do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And make sure you hit that notification bell, so that way you get a notification every time I drop this hot content. And we out of here. Peace.